Welcome to another installment of the Gab to Go Show! Yeah! Oh, by the way, where's Mitch? Where is Mitch? Where's Mitch? Have you seen her? Well, anyway, I guess we'll have to wait until she gets here, so... Anyways, guys, thanks for uploading your videos. Just keep them coming, okay? Mitch! Over here!
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. I had to finish my school project. I'm sorry. Okay, go.
Finally, you're here. Anyway,
where were we?
let's continue, okay? Wait, it's time for...
Where were we?
Uploaders
Uploaders
Alert!
Alert!
Yeah! Bring the TV in.
Thank you. Well, we have a new video, so guys, check this out.
Hi Gab and Mitch, I'm Alisa. I love reading books. My latest fascination is the collection of Filipino narratives, and some of the stories you've featured in the show were also included in my book. Anyway, when Mitch said that narratives were a form of art, it improved and strengthened the imagination. Sometimes I challenge myself to come up with different endings of stories I've read. How about you guys? Given the chance to rewrite an ending of any story, what would that ending be like? How would culture passed on during the time when people doesn't have means to document a story? Thank you, Gab and Mitch.
Thank you, gracias. You love me. You're a lovely crowd. Thank you. I'll take the TV out, please. Thank you.
Hi, Elisa. Well, that's an interesting question. If given the chance to change an ending, I'd say the story of the first banana. Have you heard of it, Gab?
First banana. Well, I don't know, but, for the sake of our viewers, why don't you just tell them that?
Okay, watch this.
Once upon a time, a very beautiful young woman was wooed by a handsome young man. His countenance was divine and every movement graceful.
I live far, far away, but in my land, everything is fair and good.
He enjoyed speaking about his land. Whenever he and the young woman were together, he spoke about such wonders and delights that the young woman was tempted to believe that he had not come from this world.
What are you?
The young man did not answer it at once. He stood up and walked around. He looked troubled. When he looked back at the young woman, it was with a beautifully sad smile.
You have asked the question I had been warned to put from your mind. It is partly my fault for being so careless. I am sorry. This will be the last night for us to meet.
The startled young woman asked at once.
What do you mean?
There is nothing more to hide. I am an elf prince. I had only asked to be placed in the world of man for some time. During that time, I found the most radiant creature I have ever seen, and I fell in love with her. I made haste to tell my father, the king, who said, if she loves you enough to accept you as you are, without question, marry her. But if at the first opportunity she asks, you must leave her, leave the world, and return home.
The elf prince shook his head sadly.
But I've done myself wrong. I should not have said so much about myself. I have made you curious of forbidden things.
Dawn broke just as he was ending his story.
I must go.
But the young woman, who had fallen in love with him, held on to his hands until the sun was well into the sky. All of a sudden, and in the middle of his gentle pleadings, the elf prince disappeared. As the young woman could not disappear with him, he left his mortal hands behind, which the girl would not release even after he had gone. But the girl knew that she would have to hide those beautiful fairy hands. Thus, she dug a hole in the ground where the fairy prince had stood, placed the hands in the hole, and marked the place of their short burial with a stone. She came back to the same spot day after day, paying reverence to the only memory she had of her love. One day, a plant started growing beside the rock she had set as a mark. She tended to it lovingly until it blossomed to be a tall plant with cool, broad leaves and sweet yellow fruit, which grew in clusters. The girl noticed that the fruit looked like fingers, and it was then that she realized that the plant was her lover's final gift to her and her kind.
Well, there you go. Isn't that lovely, Gab?
Bring this up, please. Thank you. You call that lovely? Giving an arm to the person you love? That is so gross.
Well, if I was given a chance to change it, I'd make them end up living happily ever after. And the prince wouldn't, leave the girl. He'd take her with him.
Oh, then there would be no such thing as a banana, huh?
Well, they could, leave something else, and eventually it'll turn into a banana, like maybe magic seeds?
Huh? Lame.
Well, you got any better ideas?
Well, how about the prince who turned human, huh? I mean, he planted the last mortal part of them. Or at least just a finger. I mean, at least there's still a place for the banana to grow in. Not the entire arm.
You got a point. Yeah.
And don't you think it's a little overrated and redundant that the theme of the story is actually finding true love? But despite all the odds and the trials, how does that work? I mean, I don't get it. You'd go happily ever after. Where's the twist in that? Where does the conflict enter? I don't get it.
Well, I learned in class that in retelling a story, retaining the moral essence and important details of the story is really important.
But you should also be critical in retelling a story, I mean, there tend to be some stereotypes, biases, and presumptions. Simply because the culture passes the stories on from generation to generation. Minor details might have occurred during the time when the story was told, from generations to generations, so they could adapt to that. And that's simply because narratives reflect culture.
And about your question regarding how culture was passed on, years and years ago before, when we were still colonized by the Spaniards, well, Filipinos wrote down pages and pages of their story, just like, Dr. Jose Rizal's novels. And before, when Filipinos didn't know how to read and write, they passed it on by storytelling. Now I understand why my teacher asks us to research on the author and the origin of the story, so that when we analyze a narrative in class, we would understand the logic in it.
Yeah, that's good. Wait, where are you going?
I have to revise my book report. I have to include the authors. Bye, guys!
Mitch, exits that way? Yeah, that's the way out.
Sorry.
But you know what, guys? I really admire Mitch prioritizing her studies. Shouldn't we all as students? I think we should really focus on our grades and our performance in school. And speaking of homeworks, I think I better go too. I still have 3 math problems to solve. Great math. Okay, see you guys next week, alright? Educators have long known that the arts can contribute to students' academic success and emotional well-being. And since storytelling is an art, it is especially well-suited for student exploration and is accessible to all ages and abilities. Storytelling is very helpful to students, especially in the following aspects. In gaining verbal skills. Becoming verbally proficient can contribute to a student's ability to resolve interpersonal conflicts non-violently. Negotiation, discussion, and tact are peacemaking skills. Being able to lucidly express one's thoughts and feelings is important for a child's safety. Clear communication is the first step to being able to ask for help when it's needed.
In enhancing their imagination, both telling a story and listening to a well-told tale encourages students to use their imaginations. Developing the imagination can empower students to consider new and inventive ideas. Developing the imagination can contribute to self-confidence and personal motivation as students envision themselves competent and able to accomplish their hopes and dreams.
In passing on wisdom, storytelling based on traditional folk tales is a gentle way to guide young people toward constructive personal values by presenting imaginative situations in which the outcome of both wise and unwise actions and decisions can be seen.
In our fast-paced, media-driven world, storytelling can be a nurturing way to remind children that their spoken words are powerful,
That listening is important,
and that clear communication between people is an art.